well, okay.
New York's Adult Survivors Act was passed by the state Senate on June 3, 2021. The bill is currently before the state assembly, and the outlook for passage is promising. When
It did
passed
pass, by the way. This is before the thing came out.
into law, the Adult Survivors Act will revive the statute of limitations for adults who are 18 years old or older
Might
at
be.
the time of the sexual assault. The Adult Survivors Act, which creates CPLR 214I, will allow victims of sexual assault 1 year to file lawsuits. Lawsuits filed under the Adult Survivors Act can be pursued against the person who committed the sexual assault, as well as the person's employer, when the facts allow.
So there has to be evidence, right? There has to be evidence that there was some sort of assault. It removes statutes of limitations. Right now, somebody is suing Bill Cosby from like 1960, right? In California, they had a similar law that they did, which I think is still open, where Steven Tyler was actually is getting served from the 1970s. So when I'm talking about like a statute of limitations to press charges against people and take them to court for monetary. Now this is strictly monetary, so there's nobody's going to go to prison for this, but I got to say these allegations and these lawsuits have fucked Diddy up. So Puff Daddy, P Diddy, the guy who fucking people think killed Biggie, that guy is getting real fucked right now. Which, fuck him. I've never liked Diddy anyways. He's never been that cool. There you go. So, yeah, no prison time for these guys, but it is tarnishing their names. Bill Cosby already has a tarnished name. I mean, fuck Bill Cosby. But again, this law allows people who may have missed their window to press charges. It allows them to, file. Now, the window has closed. It closed on Thanksgiving, but I think they extended it to the 24th. So last Friday, it was, it ended. So nobody can do that now. I don't know if they're going to extend that. I know there was word that we're going to extend that, but as of right now, the window is closed. And that's why we're seeing this huge flurry of accusations that came out this week, like Diddy, Jimmy Iovine, who is a huge record producer, partnered with Dr. Dre in Beats, L.A. Reid, who was a music producer and performer and artist, what's his name? Aaron Hall, who is an entertainer, R&B singer, is getting accused. So there's a lot of people. Cuba Gooding Jr., fucking show me the money, is getting a lawsuit against him. Russell Brand, which is no surprise that someone is filing a lawsuit. And this is all happening in New York. So this is just to New York State.
Before the Adult Survivors Act becomes law, victims who are at least 18 years old at the time of a sexual assault usually have 1 year to file a lawsuit.
Yes, so that's that statute of limitations.
The Adult Survivors Act recognizes that New York's current statutes of limitations for adult victims of sexual assault did not allow enough time for victims to pursue justice. If a person who is less than 18 years was the victim of sexual abuse or sexual assault, then the Child Victims Act applies.
So the Child Victims Act now is a similar law to the Adults Victims Act, or Survivors Act, the Adult Survivors Act, but it is for people under the age of 18. And that's actually what Steven Tyler on the West Coast in California is getting charged under, because back in the 70s, Steven Tyler was taking young girls. There's at least two of them that is known at this point. One of them he forced to have an abortion. He would take her across state lines, which makes it a federal sex trafficking case. And then he, there was physical abuse, mental abuse, and she was like 15 or 16. So she was underage too. So she is filing, the one lady is filing under California's Child Victim Act, which it's called something else, but it's similar to this. So what they're doing in New York.
The types of sexual assault that fall under New York's Adult Survivors Act include approximately 20 crimes that are listed in New York's penal law under sex offenses. To repeat, New York Adult Survivors Act lawsuits involve an allegation of sexual assault under New York State's penal law against a person who is at least 18 years old at the time of the sexual assault. The full list of crimes in New York that qualify for the Adult Survivors Act will include.
So they're not going to name it, but there's a lot here. We won't say it all because what, rape in the third degree, second, first, criminal sexual act, sexual abuse, aggravated sexual abuse, female genital mutilation, facilitating sex offense with. I can't read that. Why can't with. Come on, get out of here. Oh, let me turn. Yeah, there we go. Facilitating a sex offense with controlled substance, which is Bill Cosby, and Diddy was doing that too. He drugged and filmed his victim. Incest and of the second and first degree. So that's just some of the laws that qualify under the Adult Survivors Act in order to file lawsuits against these predators. And you know, I've been covering this all week, and I've been discussing this a lot online. And you know, a lot of people are being like, "Oh, fuck that! That's statute of limitations. If they didn't file right when the abuse happened or the assault happened, then does it really matter?" And it's like, again, it's not always clear to people who have been sexually assaulted that they were actually assaulted. Nader Tater, what's up, baby? Welcome in. We're just talking about sexual assault. Hey, let's go. Another joyful topic we're going to be talking about. Hey, there is good news out there, though. T.I. just built in Atlanta low-income housing, and he's going to offer free apartments to the homeless children. So beautiful. Thank you, T.I. We love you for that. That's good news. Let's get back to the terrible news.
Victims of sexual assault commonly suffer from a wide variety of injuries, which are often long-lasting, if not chronic, serious, and often devastating. These injuries can include emotional and psychological conditions, such as post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, depression, and anxiety.
Weird time to drop the butt dance. It's all right. Listen, sex is a part of life. Butts are a part of life. We love butts. We just, consenting butts. And that's what that is. Consenting butt slut right there, all right?
For victims who have sought treatment for their struggles, treatment often requires many years to decades of therapy and perhaps medication, which can be very expensive. For some sexual assault survivors, the psychological and emotional injuries caused by the sexual assault has also affected their ability to reach his or her potential in school and or professionally.
And so obviously they're talking about some of the side effects of this, of being assaulted. And, again, it's not always clear to people, and it affects you in different ways. So it's a weird thing. It's a weird trauma to recover from, because I know the shit that I've dealt with, because I was definitely passed around to different family members. I was just swatted around like a fucking piñata. So there was a few people that took advantage of me when I was a child, and I noticed that this shit comes out in different ways, and it's not always clear, but you can usually trace it back to those trauma points, especially if they're not addressed in some kind of therapy you know, which thankfully I'm in therapy, so that's always fun. Which I suggest to anybody else who's dealing with this, please go get therapy. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing.
The Adult Survivors Act will allow
It doesn't make you weak to get help.
plaintiffs to seek damages or monetary compensation for all of their injuries. Victims of sexual assault may be entitled to monetary compensation for their psychological pain, the cost of consequential treatment, and for any resulting loss of income. New York's Adult Survivors Act will allow
Group
for
hug.
punitive damages above and beyond monetary compensation. Sexual assault is deeply harmful behavior, and a jury may award a plaintiff additional monetary damages in the form of punitive damages. Punitive damages are common when the claim is brought under an intentional act and when negligent acts were extreme. Hiring
So now they're going to be like, okay, and here's the pitch. Hire Stengel. Andrew Stengel.
the right adult
All right. But that I thought that was a really good explanation of it. This guy I watched today, and he was actually talking to a lawyer who's in the shit right now, and he kind of addresses it. But I think we get the idea of what we're talking about here. So now we have all the people that's been been caught up in the fallout, which includes our friend here, Axl Rose, from GNR Guns N' Roses. The Axl Rose incident was particularly egregious and pretty bad. But yeah, this is off of Sky News, which is Australian conservative. I believe they're conservative. They're always making fun of Joe Biden, so I can only imagine that they're fucking conservative. Although I do, what's fun about all this pro-Palestine shit is how many fucking lefties hate Joe Biden now. They're calling him Genocide Joe. Oh, gracious. It's like, I voted for him. It's my fault. Okay, I take full responsibility for fucking putting Grandpa in office. It was a different time. it was a stressful time to be alive in 2020. So I will admit my wrong. But not everybody's ready to admit they were wrong. But there are a lot of young people who are ready. And that's what's interesting right now, because you're seeing a rise in RFK Jr. because of a lot of this movement in Trump derangement. It really is. And it's like, you guys know I'm not a fan of Trump. I'm very open about how much I dislike him, but I'm not fucking so... in a bubble, in my echo chamber where I can't get view outside of that and see that the United States government is doing everything possible to make this person look much worse than what they actually are. And what's fun enough about this, which we'll come back to Axel, because this Adult Survivors Act in New York is how Trump got caught up in that last lawsuit, which was a civil trial, where it was who was it? Let me see. Let's see. Trump lawsuit. Can I just get Trump? The law that will forever link Donald Trump and Sean Combs. The lesser of two evils. Well, I don't know. I still probably go to. I hate that idea of lesser of two evils, but when it does come down to Trump and Biden, I'll probably vote for RFK Jr. just because. What the fuck was that? Oh, was that my? God damn it! All right. Let's see. So we'll just go with MSNBC because they're fair and balanced. Oh, fuck you. I hate you. Get out of here. Anyone remember Biden's daughter's diary? Yeah, we read it. We were reading the shit out of that fucking thing. Oh, showering with your dad. That's weird. That's weird. Okay, so the other thing about this is that about 2,500 people have been able to file lawsuits. So the celebrities aside, it has been sort of focusing on, it has helped people who've been abused at the hand of state officials and prison officials. So they're able to come back. You got a lot of people who were incarcerated who are coming back being like, hey, these fucking guards fucking, fucked me and raped me while I was in their care. So it's not just taking down celebrities, it's taking down people who've gotten away with shit in a long time, which maybe Biden's daughter should file. Come on. Oh, the Guardian. I'm just so sick of these fucking. Look at Bill Cosby got hit with another lawsuit. So I want to. Where's the judge? E. Carroll. There it is. Allegations. This one was pretty bad because at the beginning of the trial, the judge was sitting there smiling for the camera. It was really gross. Like, you can tell that the attacks on Trump right now are literally because they're afraid that Trump is going to run and win, because he probably will if shit's not stolen, right? Like, because I'm not saying the last election was stolen, but I'm saying that it wasn't like it was clean. It wasn't like there were no fucking questions to be had. There was definitely some fucked up shit going on, especially in Arizona for the governorship. And, there was different places that had, machines were fucked up in certain areas of the city that might have probably voted for Trump. There's in different cities. And this is just going on memory. So, the information's out there. I'm not saying it was stolen. All I'm saying that it wasn't completely fair. There was people doing fucked up shit and doing voter fraud. I don't know if it was a national level. Don't know, but we do know, and we have video evidence of people, trying to rig the election, or the female inmates that got pregnant from. Whew, I feel like they wanted that shit. So, like, they wanted to get pregnant by a trans person, because look, if you're a lady who likes dick, a trans woman comes in with a dick and it gets hard. You're gonna be like, dude, I like that. And the trans woman is gonna come and lay the dick down. I mean, it's not the worst idea. If you were a prisoner, if I was a prisoner and I had a long time and I haven't gotten pussy in a long time, it's not a bad idea, right? It's not a bad idea to be like, hey, I'm a woman now. I need to be with ladies and I need to fuck. So, I mean, when you look at it from a criminal perspective, it's not a bad move. But it doesn't look good for people who are so pro-trans that they'll allow this kind of shit to happen in prisons. So, not a great look. But it's happening. So, judge says E. Jean Carroll allegation Trump raped her is substantially true in court. Dismissal. So, I don't, what is it? Was it dismissed? This was back in August. Donald Trump suffered another legal reversal on Monday, losing his counterclaim for defamation against E. Jean Carroll, the writer against whom he was found liable for sexual abuse and defamation and fined $5 million, and who continues to pursue a separate defamation case against him. So he was going to sue her for defamation, but the judge was like, nah, fuck you, you can't do that. Which doesn't seem right. It seems like he should be able to countersue if he has the evidence to back it up. Dismissing the counterclaim, a judge in New York, Louis A. Kaplan, said that when Carroll repeated her allegation that Trump raped her, her words were substantially true. Her words were substantially true. What does that mean? So her words, like, was there any evidence? See, who knows what the fuck's going on? To me, that just sounds like this lady said that. Now, I do admit that this law opens up the possibility of fraud. It opens up the possibility of a woman or a man or they, them, who might have felt slighted by somebody and decided that they want to go and say, hey, back in 1996, fucking asshole McGee over here fucking diddled my skittle and I want fucking compensation. And in reality, maybe he just fucked her and ghosted her, right? Something like that. I could see how this could get abused. And I'm not saying that Trump didn't rape this woman. He was found guilty in the court of law. But when you look at the footage from that judge, let's just see if we can find that. And again, don't like Trump, don't want him to be president. I like RFK Jr. Judge smiles at camera. But to sit here and deny that there is a witch hunt going on, to sit here and deny that is just foolishness, because obviously this motherfucker, they're out to get this dude because they can't control them. No worries, Naders. Thanks for popping in, brother. It's always good to see you. You be safe out there. Don't be be safe.
To be, or were they
good
just
God.
simply
So look at this shit.
when we're gabbled to order?
So this is the civil. This is the civil fraud trial. I don't know if this was.
Well, you're more likely to have cameras.
Look at people laughing.
So it's up to the discretion of the judge. And quite frankly, I'm not too sure that both parties would want this. I think that Trump views this, the optics of this, as working to his advantage. Look, people looking at this live picture right now will be either filled with rage or they will be thrilled. And that's the problem.
Where's the judge?
Is that,
Here you go.
You have
Look at this
James
guy.
now being shown in the background.
Look at this guy.
You've got Trump in the foreground.
This fucking guy. Like, it was. Oh shit. It's very obvious that they already had a decision. Now, I don't know if this was. I think this was for the civil fraud trial. So let me see. Robbie Starbuck, the former Republican congressional. Yeah, we know that. What was the trial for? Okay, so Engoron last week ordered that some of Trump's business license in New York be rescinded. Okay, so this was a different thing altogether. So this had nothing to do with his with the sexual assault case. In any way, we're not talking about Donald Trump, but it was a good. But he did he did get convicted under this Adult Survivors Act. So let's go over here, Sky News, and read through some of this article. Let me get some water. My mouth is dry. I'm a bit parched. Oh, good shit. Anyway. Let's see how much I stammer through this. By the way, I am high as the sky on caffeine, so I am just going right now. Why have so many celebrities been accused of sexual assault at the same time? There have been a string of sexual abuse allegations in the run-up to Thanksgiving, many of them against high-profile celebrities. And, of course, this is Axl Rose. Fucking Axl Rose, who looks like a... like a 60-year-old fucking biker chick. A string of celebrities have been accused of sexual assault in recent days, including Guns N' Roses singer Axl Rose, actor and singer and comedian Jamie Foxx, and music industry veteran Jimmy Iovine. The flurry of accusations comes just before Thanksgiving in the United States, when a law that let adult victims sue over historical attacks expire. Why have so many been recently accused? The lawsuits were filed under New York's Adult Survivors Act. The law was brought in a year ago and created a year-long suspension of the usual time limit to sue over an alleged sexual assault. Before that, New York laws meant most adult survivors of sexual abuse had between 1 and 5 years to bring a civil suit or press criminal charges. But during the look-back period, survivors could sue over abuse that happened at any point in their adult life. Now, again, you can't say that there's not someone out there that who's going to be like, oh boy, I'm going to cash in on this shit and I'm going to fuck somebody over. You know that that's a huge possibility and probably did happen. I don't think that's the going rate. I don't think that people are usually that scummy, but there are scummy people out there who are definitely taking advantage of this. The ASA was modeled on a previous New York law that gave people abused as children a temporary window to file claims. By the time the Child Victims Act's 2-year window closed in August 2021, almost 11,000 people filed lawsuits, many involving the Roman Catholic Church. Fucking Catholics, man. Why? You know, like... The Catholic priests weren't always supposed to be celibate. That's pretty recent. Why would they do that? Just let them fuck. Don't let... I mean, because the sickest part about it is that they were allowed for so long to fucking... to molest these young boys. And if they were found out, they just got shipped off to another congregation. And just slide it under the rug. Nobody knows any different. That's interesting. I didn't know that was a lot of that was against the church. More than 2,500 lawsuits have been filed under the ASA, which that number has gone up to about 3,000 now. In the run-up to Thanksgiving, Axl Rose was accused by Sheila Kennedy, a former Penthouse magazine model, of sexually assaulting her in a New York City hotel room. And this was in 1989. Jamie Foxx was also sued under the act on Wednesday by a woman who accused the Hollywood star of sexually assaulting her at a New York rooftop lounge in 2015. Tuesday, writer and filmmaker A.M. Lucas accused White Lines actor Nuno Lopez of drugging and raping her in 2006. On Tuesday, Bill Cosby was accused of drugging and sexually abusing her after offering to mentor her in an acting career, joining more than 60 women who have accused him of rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment, which Bill Cosby went to prison in 2018 and then was released on a technicality. A fucking technicality. So that fucking monster is just out there living his life, enjoying his money, which he should not be. Meanwhile, in the music industry, Jimmy Iovine was sued by a woman who claims she was sexually abused, forcibly touched, and subject to sexual harassment and retaliation in August of 2017. Also on Wednesday, Oscar-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. was sued by two women whose sexual assault accusations against the star formed the basis of a criminal prosecution that ended with him pleading guilty in April of 2022, but serving no jail time. So again, these are civil lawsuits, not criminal. So Cuba Gooding Jr. admits kissing waitress without consent. He admitted it. The 54-year-old is accused of violating 3 different women at various Manhattan night spots in 2018 and 19, but his guilty plea covers only one of the allegations. It comes nearly 3 years after the actor was arrested in the case that was delayed several times as his lawyers sought to get charges reduced or dismissed. Gooding has now admitted to the judge he kissed the waitress on her lips without consent at the Lavo nightclub. Can't just go around kissing ladies. It's just not how it works. Apparently in the 90s, it was all good. The actor's plea deal calls for no jail time. He can also withdraw the misdemeanor plea and plead guilty to a lesser violation of harassment if he continues counseling for 6 months. So obviously he got off good on that one, but his career is fucked. One of the first lawsuits filed, the look-back period open, was against Donald Trump. In May, the former president was found liable for sexually abusing E. Jean Carroll in 1996. Trump has denied the allegation. Let's just see E. Jean Carroll. Is she a pass or a smash or pass? Let's just check her out. I think at one time she was a smash, right? Woo! That's a pass. Oh, she's 80. You gotta give her a pass for that. But apparently, back in the day, let's look. Let's see. E. Jean Carroll. Oh shit. Yo, E. Jean Carroll. Fucking hot stuff over here. Oh, and that was it was his second ex-wife. His rape accuser for his okay, hold on. Donald Trump mistook his rape accuser. Donald Trump mistook his rape accuser for his second ex-wife during deeply creepy deposition. So he get out of here, fuck nuts. No thanks. Whoa, but she was hot. That is for sure. Wait, Donald, American actress Marla Maples. Oh, that's not her. Okay, so whatever. I don't know. E.G. Carroll younger. Yeah, let's see that. Let's see her younger. Yeah, smash. Yeah, smash. She has a big face. But definitely smash. Anyways. Going back to our what is this? WinZip. Get the fuck out of here, WinZip. Nobody wants you. No one loves you, WinZip. Others who have been sued under the law include Russell Brand, former movie producer Harvey Weinstein, which is no surprise there, and hip hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs, which one of the cases was settled the day after he settled it out of court, and I'm guessing that a lot of these cases. So he has 3 against him as of right now. Not just celebrities, the majority of the cases of the 2,500 lawsuits involve allegations of abuse in prisons and with the lawsuits filed against the state, New York City, and local counties. So Andrew Cuomo, who was the governor of New York, who stepped down in disgrace because of his sexual allegations, a sexual impropriety. The current mayor of New York is being taken down right now with this law. So it's not just celebrities, it's politicians, it's prison guards, it's fucking, people in positions of power who are mostly getting taken down, which is a good thing. So mostly it's private citizens able to go back and sort of try to reclaim something from their abuse. So let's see. Other lawsuits have targeted employers or institutions such as hospitals accused of failing to do enough to stop abuse by doctors and other workers. Why was this law brought in? Advocates say the window for reporting historic abuse gives traumatized adults a chance to seek accountability from big institutions and powerful men who can use their wealth and position to shield themselves. The reason why we fought so hard for this bill is because trauma takes time. Safe Horizon CEO Liz Roberts said. The New York Governor Kathy Hochul said the initial law covering child sexual abuse forgot people who suffered the same type of abuse as adults. So she's referencing the Child Victims Act there. Survivor and advocate Marissa Hostetter said the law was about giving people a voice in how they choose to heal from the harm done to them. Whether or not survivor exercises their right to pursue civil justice under the law is completely up to them. Nonetheless, we're putting the power back into the hands of the survivors. So we're going to go to WSEG news for our next one for these things. Again, guys, if you guys are interested, go check out the blog. It's a daily blog. I release music news on the daily, and we've been covering the legal battles of the Adult Survivors Act. So one of the battles is Anti-Flag's Just Insane from 2010. Justin Sane of Anti-Flag is currently entangled in a legal battle as he faces a lawsuit filed by Christina Sarhadi, who alleges she was raped by the punk rock star in 2010. Sarhadi, a New York holistic therapist, asserts. Let's make this bigger, shall we? Babu Sahardi, a New York holistic therapist, asserts that Sane, whose real name is Justin Cathal Geaver, not only violated her physically, but also exploited his status as self-proclaimed punk rock star to manipulate and prey on her vulnerable young girls. The legal action, initiated under the Adult Survivors Act, and let's see, the law expands in the scope beyond Sane, involving Hardwork Distribution Inc. and the distribution arm of Anti-Flag's AF Records, and an unnamed defendant. Sahardi contends that both entities should have been aware of Sane's alleged pattern of sexual misconduct with young women and underage girls in motel rooms across the country. The legal argument suggests that they had a duty to protect potential victims. So not only are the people who did the act are getting sued, but people, companies and people around them that were allowing this to happen. Because when you have someone who is an abuser on this level where they have power, where it's like whether it's a musician or a politician or a business executive, there most of the time is a circle of people who are allowing this to happen, not just allowing, but facilitating it. Jeffrey Epstein had Ghislaine Maxwell, but he also had a whole ring of people who were facilitating these politicians who were coming in and having sex with underage girls, whether it was in his Manhattan home or in fucking the islands down there, the Epstein Island. Sahardi's encounter with Sane, I guess, began after an Anti-Flag show in 2010. Despite expressing her commitment to a long-time relationship, Sahardi claims she was persuaded to attend a film festival with Sane due to his proclaimed feminist stance and the fact that he had a serious girlfriend. Subsequently, after watching Sane's performance at the festival, Sahardi alleges she was invited to an after party and then to Sane's hotel room where the assault occurred. The lawsuit details a disturbing sequence of events, including Sane and earning sympathy by discussing personal tragedies during the drive and then allegedly subjecting Sahardi to physical and sexual violence. Sahardi describes crying and pleading with Sane to stop, but her requests were ignored. The incident left her with severe psychological injuries, leading to conditions such as CPTSD, clinical depression, ADHD resulting from trauma, emotional hyperarousal, and rejection sensitivity dysphoria. It's a lot. Yeah, Sane is one of the people. So a third woman. So let's go back to Diddy, because Diddy has been eating shit on this one, rightfully so, because he's been up to no good here. Here's Axel, Jamie. Where are we at? Boom, 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 boom. Just so you guys know, Daryl Hall is suing John Oates. And they're getting a restraining order against each other for an unknown reason. Where is fucking Diddy done did it? So here's where it all starts. Neil Young. Hold on. Let's do this. This will be a little bit faster here. Wow, I gotta go through all this. Okay. So this is the second one, but here it is on Friday, and this was not last Friday, but a couple Fridays ago. Singer Cassie Ventura and famed music producer Sean Diddy Combs announced that they had settled a lawsuit that Ventura had filed against Combs the day before, accusing him of sexual abuse. The lawsuit claimed that Combs had subjected Ventura to abuse, violence, and sex trafficking for years, starting in 2005 when they began a sporadic relationship. Combs was also her employer at the time. Ventura said he enticed her into a drug-fueled, fast-paced, and ostentatious lifestyle and into a romantic relationship with him when she was only 19 and he was 37. Which 19-year-olds are barely fucking adults. And I'm not saying that she didn't have any responsibility with that, but we do know especially when she's a young singer, R&B singer who's trying to make it, and she hooks up with Diddy or Puff Daddy at the time. I think he was Puffy, but it's still at this time. In 2005, I'm not sure. I would have to look that up, but who gives a fuck? Anyways, she's 19, he's 37. He definitely knows what's going on. Diddy's also been accused of doing this to men as well, where he'll force dudes to give him, and this is all just hearsay, but these are the rumors where he forces dudes to give him oral sex. And it's not because he's gay, it's just that he wants to have that power over people. That's a lot of the rumor that goes on. The pair reached an agreement less than a day after the lawsuit was filed. In order to have some level of control over terms, I have chosen to resolve this matter amicably. Ventura, whose full name is Cassandra Ventura, said in a statement. So they ended that, but it wasn't over, friends. No, it's never over, because then former Bad Boy president labels suit. So Bad Boy Entertainment is Sean Diddy Combs' company. It's who Biggie was signed under. Former Bad Boy president label sued for SA negligence amidst Diddy accusations. Longtime executive Bad Boy Entertainment Harv Pierre is facing a lawsuit for allegedly grooming and sexually assaulting his assistant just days after Sean Diddy Combs, the founder of the company, was sued for rape and sex trafficking. And again, sex trafficking is taking people over state lines and having sex with them or selling them. So it's trafficking once you start taking people over state lines, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not even going to look it up because we're running out of time here. Let's get back up here now. Jamie Foxx, this one was crazy. Back in 2015, a lawsuit was filed on Wednesday for Jamie Foxx sexually assaulting a woman on a New York rooftop bar. The suit, which identifies the woman as Jane Doe, claims that Foxx dragged her into a hidden spot of the Catch NYC rooftop lounge where he fondled her breast and touched her genitals without her consent. The suit says the woman and a friend were sitting at a table next to Foxx and Mark Birnbaum, whoever that is, the bar's owner. Around 1 a.m., the friend got up and requested a photo with Foxx. Foxx consented, and they snapped a few photos. Foxx then started flirting with the plaintiff, the suit says, telling her, "Wow, you have a supermodel body and you smell so good." That is some fucking whack-ass fucking game right there. But when you're Jamie Foxx, I guess you don't need that kind of game. You can just be like, whatever. He also said she resembled Gabrielle Union, who's beautiful. According to the suit, she says that he then grabbed her arm, pulled her to a more isolated area of the rooftop where he molested her breast under her crop top. So there you go. It's another one. Axl Rose, model, and this is her, Sheila Kennedy, filed a lawsuit accusing Guns N' Roses lead singer Axl Rose of engaging in sexual assault and battery. The legal documents assert that Rose allegedly exploited his fame, status, and power in the music industry to gain access to and control Kennedy, ultimately subjecting her to violent sexual assault. Kennedy's, identified as a former Penthouse Pet of the Year, detailed the alleged assault, claiming it occurred in a hotel room in 1989. The complaint described a party where Rose, alongside other individuals, provided cocaine, of course, because it's not a party in the 80s without cocaine, champagne, and alcohol to guests. As the night unfolded, Kennedy found herself uncomfortable witnessing Rose's behavior with another model. According to the complaint, Rose was aggressive in a way that appeared painful for the model. The encounter quickly became not just uncomfortable, but disturbing. Kennedy left the room. Hold on. Kennedy left the room with Rose's acquaintance, and suddenly heard objects being thrown and the sound of glass shattering. While Rose yelled at the other model, Kennedy then perceived Rose storming down the hallway, and when he saw her, he screamed, "What the fuck are you doing here?" She alleged Rose grabbed her by her robe and knocked her to the floor in the hallway, tied Kennedy's hands behind her back with nearby panties, and then sexually assaulted Kennedy. Kennedy is claiming that the incident led to profound and lasting emotional, physical, psychological, and financial consequences in her life. See, and that's horrible. That's pretty bad. Again, like, if you're into this shit, right? If you want to be tied up, if you want this shit, and you guys are consenting to it, by all means, get as freaky deaky as you want. But man, if it's not wanted and there's no yes involved, and it's not like, because I get the idea of like how "may I touch your breast" is kind of lame, but you definitely, when you're the dude, especially nowadays, you have to read the room. And it's just, if you have any question in your head, just ask, even if it ruins the moment. Here's the thing: Louis C.K. asked to masturbate in front of these two comedian women. They said yes, they consented, but then later changed their mind. So the best thing to do is fucking side hugs and very little contact with people that you work with or that you're not in a relationship with, because it's like, fuck, dude, it's just you just don't know, and it's just best to stay away. But you can't sterilize sex and be like, "May I touch your breast? May I kiss you? May I touch your vagina? May I put my penis in your vagina?" That is just unsexy. So it's just literally, you have to read the room, and if you have any doubts, you got to ask. It's just how it is. Music executive Jimmy Iovine accused of sexual abuse and retaliation. According to court documents, a woman is suing music executive Jimmy Iovine, claiming that Interscope Records co-founder sexually abused and touched her without consent. Iovine says he's shocked and baffled by the allegation. A plaintiff who goes by Jane Doe filed a summons of notice on Wednesday in New York, claims that Iovine, 70, was involved in multiple instances of sexual abuse and forcibly touching her, including specific incident of sexual misconduct that took place in New York in August 2007. A legal document did not provide much more information about the woman's specific allegations, but the lawsuit is anticipated by the end of the year. The woman also claims that she's experienced sexual harassment and retaliation and is asking for an undetermined amount of damages. Doe's lawyer, Douglas Wigger, did not offer more comment on the case. So, he's retaliating. That's no good. So another woman comes out where he drugged and filmed her for revenge porn. And then another case came out, and this one includes Aaron Hall, a third lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs of sexual assault under the Adult Survivors Act that ended after Thanksgiving has been filed against him. The new lawsuit from a person who did not reveal their identity says that Combs, the singer-songwriter, and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall raped the person and their friend one after the other in 1990 or 1991, and that Diddy became violent and angry a few days later. The document obtained says Jane Doe and her friend met Diddy and Hall at an event that MCA Records and distributors of Uptown Records hosted at their offices in New York. So this is back from 1990. And the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. Just insane. Oh, and then, of course, Sean John, which is Diddy's clothing line, has been removed from Macy's because of these allegations. And just today I saw that his former head of security is corroborating Cassie's allegations as well. So not looking good, not looking good. So we're going to be following this story, see where it goes. Again, I don't think it's a bad situation. I don't think it's a bad law, but I do recognize that it opens up the door for people to just make shit up. But again, I don't think that's the majority of people filing these lawsuits. Over, close to 3,000 people have been able to file lawsuits, and the small majority of them were politicians and celebrities and musicians. So it was a majority of private citizens who've been abused or sexually assaulted over the years who were able to come back and get some kind of something out of a raw deal of being, put in that position. So